This past year has been a year of self-discovery for me, and today I want to share with you, as I turn 48 years old on my birthday, 5 things that I discovered about myself over the course of this past year. So if you want to hear what they are, then just keep watching. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle and I'm so happy that you decided to join me today, because today I want to share with you 5 important things that I discovered about myself over the course of this past year as I celebrate my 48th birthday. Now, I've done this birthday video 2 times before and it's really been fun for me. I really did enjoy it. I'm really happy that this last year was a year of self-discovery for me. I don't think you ever get too old to keep learning about others or about yourself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Number 5, this past year I really discovered that I actually enjoy alone time. Now, this is a first for me because I could never say this ever before, but this past year I've gotten really busy and I've developed some other hobbies and endeavors and things that I'm working on that I really do best by myself. I am putting together a women's conference at my church. That's a very big undertaking. I've never done anything like this before, so everything I'm doing is brand new to me, but I do have to focus, and there's a lot of components that I'm working on for this one event, and it does take a lot of my time, and I focus best often when I'm alone. The other really exciting thing that's taken a lot of my time that I'm working on this year is contributing to a book that's being written. I was asked by a retired pastor, a published author, if I would contribute to a devotional book that she's writing. She asked several other people to contribute as well, and we are going to be listed as contributing authors on her book. That's really exciting, but this project is taking a lot of time as well, and as you can well imagine, being that I'm writing and being that I'm writing devotional, so I'm praying through my content as I'm trying to write it, it is best accomplished when I'm by myself. And so these 2 things have been some of the reasons that I haven't been on YouTube so much as of late, because they've been taking a lot of my time and energy. The other thing that I've been doing as of late is I am leading a Bible study at my church, and I really love it. It's really fulfilling. Our study as of late, though, is really intensive. There's a lot of material to it, and there's a lot that we're trying to get through and go through together as a group. So that's been taking a lot of my time as well. In addition, I'm still busy at work, and work's starting to pick up a little more. If you don't know, I am a certified personal trainer. I love my job. I picked up a couple new clients this week, so that was fantastic for me. I'm really happy about that, but I can't ever imagine turning away a potential client at work. I'm always excited to get new clients because I love what I do so much. So between work and my other endeavors that I just explained, I have been keeping really busy, but a lot of these things really require me to focus and be in some deep thought, and so these are activities that are best done alone. And there's a reason, I think, also, which I'll get to later in this video, as to why I can truly enjoy alone time, whereas I never could before. But that's the first thing, number 5 on my list, that I discovered about myself this past year. Number 4, I really realized that I'm actually capable of a lot more things than I ever dreamed I could do. And I'm actually a better multitasker than I realized. And I discovered this because other people brought it to my attention. You know, I guess I never really thought about all that I have going on in my life, because it's just my life. I just go through my day and do the things that I want to get done, and I do what I have to do, and that's it, and I don't think about it. I really enjoy being busy. I actually don't do well emotionally or mentally when I'm kind of stagnant or when I'm not as busy. I do really well, and I find that I function and thrive really well spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically when I keep myself busy. I really like that part of life. I like to be busy, and so I think right now I feel like I'm really thriving. I did get an opportunity within this last year to realize some goals and some dreams that I've had for a long time, and they will become a reality this coming year, and that is to become an author. I will be a published author in this devotional book, and also to speak and become a public speaker and a motivational speaker, which I will be doing at this women's conference that I'm putting together at my church. So those are 2 really exciting things that will be happening this upcoming year, and although those are things that I really wanted to do, I really didn't know how I was going to get there, and I have doubted whether or not I could do these things, and now I realize that I absolutely can. And I realize as I've been handling things as life has happened, because all the while that these dreams and these goals have come to pass and I've been working on these things, life has happened in our home. I've had some personal things happen. I've had some things happen with family. I was recently in a car accident. Unfortunately, I was rear-ended at a stoplight, and that resulted in some neck and back pain that I'm dealing with. So I'm seeing a chiropractor, I'm seeing my doctor, I'm dealing with meds and different treatment therapies right now. And so that's been something that I've had to deal with. So life goes on, situations happen that we have to handle, and it leads me to my next point, and I lost track of where I am. I think I'm at point number 4. The fourth thing, or no, sorry. I'm at point number 3, I think. The fourth point I wanted to make is that I really could take on and accomplish a lot more than I thought I could. And so that's point number 4. Point number 3 is that I am not perfect, and I'm not called to be perfect, and I can't do everything, and I'm okay with that. And this is coming from a classic perfectionist type A person. And so that was really hard to kind of wrap my head around, but I had to get to the point where I had to accept the fact that I can't do it all, and that's okay, and I'm fine with it. And I had to accept the fact that I may take on things that I might have to put down and say, you know what, I bit off more than I can chew, I can't do this right now, or the timing for this particular project or this particular endeavor is not right. And I am going to have to do that with something that I picked up this past year that I really wanted to accomplish. I had an amazing opportunity, but the timing just isn't right. I have too much on my plate, and right now I just can't get this particular thing finished, and I'm going to have to deal with that and come to terms with that and pick it up at a later date when I have more time. And so this last year I really realized, and something I discovered about myself that I'm actually really proud of, is that I'm okay being an imperfect person, and I'm okay saying to people and saying to myself, I can't do it all. I'm not supposed to do it all, and I'm fine not doing it all. That's okay with me, because I'm not perfect, the people in my life are not perfect, and I can live with that. It's fine. We're all going to do our best, and we're all going to strive to do what we can, and if we can't, we really can't. The second thing that I discovered about myself this past year is that I have the discernment and the wisdom to know when I need to push myself, when I need to pull out all the stops, need to pull out all my reserves and go for it even when I'm exhausted, even when I feel like I don't have the time, and when I need to pull back, when I need to table something and say, okay, I need to wait till tomorrow. And this is something that I was praying about, because I have a tendency, and if any of you out there that are watching this are type 8 personalities, you know what I'm talking about, where you have a tendency to just go all in, tackle everything with all your gusto, but it really can wear you down. It really can burn you out. And I wanted to make sure with all that I had going on that I didn't reach that burnout stage, that everything that I was doing was still enjoyable for me, because that is really big to me as far as my quality of life. I really want to have fun in life. I really want to enjoy what I'm doing. Don't you? I definitely do. So it was really important to me to have the wisdom and discernment to know when I do need to press forward and really make a push and get something done when I'm tired, when I don't feel like it, when I know that I absolutely have to get it done, and when I can discern that now is not the right time. I can put this aside, I can delegate this, I can do it later. And that really came from praying and asking God for wisdom and discernment about the different situations in my life. And even things as mundane and everyday as going to the grocery store, or returning a clothing item that had to be returned, or picking something up that I wanted to get. I really had to make those decisions as to whether I needed to table that for later and get some much needed rest, or work on a different project, or whether this was something that needed to be done now. And I really feel like asking God for that wisdom and discernment really helped me increase my productivity and get done the things that I really needed to get done in the timelines that they needed to be done. And so I'm really grateful and I'm really thankful for that. Now, the number one thing that I discovered about myself this past year, which I'm so excited about, is that I really discovered that I could embrace living in the moment and really loving fully and enjoying the people around me, and just living and enjoying every moment that was enjoyable to me. Sometimes I think as busy adults, as parents, as type A personalities, we don't stop to smell the roses. We think about the end goal, we think about what we have to get done, we think about the daily grind, we think about A, B, C, we go to bed, we wake up, we do it all over again, but we don't stop to take time to really enjoy everything that we've worked for. Why do we work so hard to have the big, beautiful house? Why do we work so hard to be able to own the things we own? Why do we work so hard to really be able to give things to our kids, or do things for our kids if we can't stop and really enjoy the fruits of our labors. And along with that comes spending time with people. One of the priorities this past year that really became a very important priority to me was really making family time important. My boys are teenagers now. I have a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old, and I can tell you this, they don't want to spend as much time with me as they used to when they were younger. That's normal, that's natural. I'm not upset about that. That's just kind of naturally what happens as your kids get older. But I can tell you, any single time they come to me and they say, let's have some family time, or let's watch a movie, or let's do this, or watch my skateboarding clips, or I want to show you this, I am right there. I'm really spending time with them. I'm paying attention, and I'm really excited to do that because I know those moments will only become fewer and more far between, and I really want to enjoy every single second that I have available to soak that time up. When my husband has a free moment and we have date nights, and we've really gotten into a routine where we have 2 weekly date nights. A lot of times on Tuesdays we'll go to a movie because movies where I live are only $5 on Tuesdays. And on Fridays, we go to a local fish fry that's really close to his work. Now, he, a lot of times on Fridays, works late, so he has to go back to work after we have dinner. And I have to go home and get ready for Saturday because I work on Saturday mornings and I like to be in bed early. So we don't even really spend a lot of our Friday nights together. But we do meet to have dinner and just have some alone time over having dinner. And that's really become a routine that I've really grown to enjoy. And even though it's not as much time sometimes as I wish I had with my husband, I appreciate the time that we do have because I understand that he is just as busy or even more busy than I am. He has a full-time job and he's running 3 different businesses with different business partners, and he's just got a lot on his plate. So I do recognize that, and I'm really proud of his endeavors, and I'm really happy too that we're both kind of the same in the fact that we have a lot of endeavors that keep us busy, that we really enjoy, that we're passionate about, because when we come together we talk about our passions and it's really fun to do that. So learning to live in the moment and really embrace every moment you have with a loved one, with a friend. And that's the other thing too, I've really deepened some friendships this past year, and I've discovered that they've become my cheerleaders. They've become so important to me. And I had this really cool experience. So a childhood friend that I had when I was like 18, 19 years old, we were really, really close, really good friends. But then she moved away and we lost touch, and I literally had not spoken to her in over 30 years. She reached out one day and she called me. She called me on my cell phone. And she had just looked up my number and she called me, and lo and behold, I could not believe I was talking to her. And it was amazing. She doesn't live in the local area, but we've reconnected, and it's so funny because I feel like I could talk to her for a long time, and we kind of just picked up where we left off, even though we hadn't spoken in over 30 years. And it's been really fantastic and so much fun to reconnect with her. So I've really been loving and enjoying my relationships that I have, and I've really discovered that I don't need a lot of relationships in my life. I don't need a lot of friendships, and believe it or not, this surprised me, but I discovered this last year that I don't need a lot of social time because, like I said before, a lot of my endeavors that I'm doing now that I'm passionate about really require me to focus and be more alone when I'm doing them. So I don't need a lot of social time, but I want more high quality social time with people that I really look forward to, that I really want to be with, that really are like-minded and really can encourage me and lift me up, and I can do the same for them. And I've really found value in the quality of my relationships, so I'm really excited about that. So I know I said I was going to share 5 things with you that I discovered about myself this last year. So this would be like a 5A, so an additional point. Consider this your bonus point, but really the most important point, and I already said this, but I'm saying it again because I got distracted because my husband came home, and then I got emotional. Not because my husband came home. I love him a lot, but I don't cry every time he comes home. I'm happy he's home though. But anyway, okay, moving on. Okay, so I gotta laugh about this because I actually did get really emotional. So my final point, and probably the most important point that really ties back to my number 5 point that I said in the beginning about enjoying spending time alone, is that the reason is because I discovered this year that I actually really like myself. And now the reason that that made me emotional was for 2 reasons. The first reason is because unfortunately it's taken me over 40 years to realize that, and I do realize that's really sad. That makes me sad for the little girl that I was and the teenager that I was. and the young woman that I was, and even the adult that I was, that it took me that long to get there. But you know what? Everybody has a different journey, and all I can say is I'm glad that I'm there now. So I'm really happy about that, but it also makes me sad because I realize how many people out there feel that way. They truly don't like themselves. They don't want to think about who they are, who they're becoming, maybe who they've been. It's really hard for them, and if that's you, I just want to say I know that you're not alone. Like I just shared, it took me over 40 years to get to a point where I could truly feel like I liked myself, and for me personally, I can't speak for anyone else, but I really feel like that's part of the reason, probably a big part, why I never wanted to be alone. I felt like I always needed outside stimulation to distract me because I didn't want to have to think about who I was, or maybe who I was going to become, because I think I didn't know, and I didn't really like who I had been, and I already knew that. So I really just didn't want to think about those things, and I think some of those things really scared me. But one thing I want to tell you, and this really helped me, when I really settled in and when I got serious about my spiritual life and I really started praying over my life, it really helped me develop a peace and a level of comfort. I'm not sure how to say this, but I just really felt more relaxed in my own skin because I knew that Jesus already knew everything there was to know about myself. I didn't have to hide anything from him, and I also knew that he loved me and accepted me for just who I was. And that alone, that time with Jesus as I started to grow my spiritual life over this past year, gave me the opportunity to really grow as a person, really grow in my faith, and really develop a relationship with Jesus that has become really fantastic. It just makes me so happy. But it also really showed me that I can become the person that I'm meant to be. I can become the person that everyone in my life needs me to be. I can become the person that I want to become, and I can become the person that God designed me to be because he's going to help me get there. And I'm not there yet. I'm by no means perfect. There is still a lot of things that I have to work on. But you know what? I'm happy in the process, and I've never been there. And so that is the biggest, probably most important thing that I discovered about myself this past year. And that is the thing that probably makes me the most excited and the most happy to go into the next year. And that is the reason why I'm not freaked out about potentially turning 50 in 2 years. Actually, it's not potentially, it's going to happen whether I want it to happen or not. But that's the reason that it doesn't bother me, because I feel really good about my life. So with that being said, those are my 5+ things that I wanted to share with you about things I discovered about myself this last year. I'd love to hear from you. What things did you discover about yourself this last year? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I will be uploading more videos. I can't promise any schedule or regularity because, as I just mentioned, I have a lot going on personally in my life. And although I love YouTube, I love uploading content, it is something for now. I do realize that I have to put a little bit more towards the back burner to get some of these other priorities accomplished, but I will still be uploading videos. So if you don't want to miss any content from my channel, then please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a new video so you don't miss one. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and remember to make your everyday ordinary life extraordinary. And remember, I can't do this. Okay. We're almost done. And I've been trying to do this ending now for like a long time, and it's not working out. Oh, you guys, I love you. Okay, you know what? Have a great day. It's my birthday. You're all beautiful. I'll see you in the next video.